Hello, today I will start with 3 fascinating facts related to the topic, and at the end I will expand on them. First one, before electricity, pre-1800s, people on average slept 9 to 10 hours every night. Second one, pre-industrial people at night had 2 phases of the sleep. First sleep, then they woke up for 1 to 2 hours in the middle of the night, and then second sleep till the morning. Third one, saving daytime started in Germany in 1916. The goal was to save energy as it was very tight times during First World War. Let's go to the main topic. You come home from work or a gym, you have your meal, and then you sit in front of a screen, whether it's phone or TV. Many times it's actually both at the same time. Then you go to sleep, or better to say, you try to go to sleep, and if you can't fall asleep, you might be even scrolling in bed. And maybe you are taking supplements to help you sleep, or maybe you are even taking melatonin to get you sleep. But whatever you are taking right before bed, that's already too late. The main problem started way earlier, and it's not your age and it's not your genetics. Regarding sleep, there is one clear thing to blame, and that's your habit, or we can call it rhythm. My name is Paolo, and in this video I will explain you how everything you do from the moment you wake up is either pushing you closer and closer or further and further from a good, restful, restorative sleep following night. I will also explain why you might have very hard time putting your kids to bed and why they just don't want to sleep. One fact that we need to get straight. There are a lot of invisible forces influencing us in our daily life. Forces directly changing our daily functioning. And even if we can't see it, it can have life-changing impact. If you don't believe in any invisible forces, cool, that's fine. Just think of the Wi-Fi you are using right now to watch this video. And the one I'm talking about is way more primitive. And yet it has an impact on pretty much every hour of every day of our lives. Our eye can perceive roughly 0.0003% of what is actually around us. And the light we are experiencing, the light we can see and perceive, is actually running in certain color spectrums. Very simplified, you can imagine it like which color is dominant in the light that you are looking at or which you are exposed to. We cannot see the spectrum itself, and until we are aware of it, we just take it as a normal part of the existence. But just because we can't see it, it doesn't mean it has no impact on us. Our biology was developed in an environment where each color, each particular color had specific meaning and was signaling different things. And we have specific reactions depending on which color is dominant in the spectrum that we are exposed to. Sunrise is occurring in yellowish colors. The dominant color is yellow in the spectrum we are perceiving. Midday, the dominant colors are blue and white. And with sunset, there is again yellow, but it's also a lot more red color spectrum coming through. Your body and your cells react to this. Our inner clock that our body is running on is starting, or on the other side stopping, specific processes based on what spectrum, what light we are exposed to. So the light runs our biology. It is energy regulation, hormonal regulation, digestion. Every process that happens has its time and place in our body. And that is coordinated by the circadian rhythms, and that is triggered and coordinated by the light. Being exposed to natural light first 15-30 minutes after waking up, which means sun on our skin, sun into our eyes, is showing to help regulate our melatonin. And melatonin is a hormone that is running these circadian rhythms. It's the main guy running the inner clock. People usually know it for its ability to put you into sleep as a supplement, or it's actually a hormone, but it also helps to regulate energy levels through the day, and it's overall setting up the right rhythm for the body for the right time of the day. To this point, most people actually get it right. Not everybody is getting the sun on their skin and face as a first thing in the morning, but pretty much everybody is exposed to light in the morning. That happens naturally. Even though there definitely are people who would need more daylight and should get out of the basement, but that's not the point of this video. The second half of the day is more problematic for majority of people, and that is the blue and white bright light. That is the type of spectrum that sun in the midday is emitting. That is the type of spectrum that is signaling our brain it's day and it's time to be active. But with all the screens, TV, phones, tablets, and whatever other technologies, we are shining this spectrum, blue and white light, to our faces way longer than we are actually supposed to naturally. And that creates a mismatch and a problem, because as this natural rhythm of light is happening when the sun is setting down and we are exposed to more orange and red spectrum, that increases melatonin, and it's supposed to wind us down and set us for sleep. But if we have that screen with blue and white light directly in our face till the last moment before trying to fall asleep, it is signaling to our brain that it's a bright day. Melatonin is photosensitive. It breaks down if we get the white and blue light through our eyes to the brain. So through this light exposure, we are losing the hormone that is supposed to regulate our sleep and regulate our energy cycle and energy levels through the day. So it's not like you can't fall asleep so you are on the screen. It's actually you are on the screen and that's why you can't fall asleep. If you are on Instagram while watching TV, then you switch it off and within 5 minutes you're trying to fall asleep, that's not going to happen because melatonin is suppressed. But this is not only about the phones and screens and technology. It is also about what kind of light we are using in our room and how are we lighting our home right before we go to bed. If you have bright white light in your bathroom, it's the same. If you have blue, green, neon light as a decoration in your living room, same damage. Another factor from the light spectrum is also where is the light positioned. Light above eye level is another signal telling our brain that it's day because the source of the light is coming from above. So all the lamps and all the sources of light that are positioned high and especially with the wrong spectrum are very disturbing. Our brain thinks the sun didn't set yet, so it is still active and acting like it's a day. If the source of light is low and it's in yellow or red spectrum, that is signaling sunset. And another interesting thing, because before all the light sources we know today, there was another technology of lighting things at night, and that was a fire. But when you look at a campfire or fireplace, what colors do you see? What spectrum you think that is? It's still yellow and red. And most of the time, it's also positioned below eye level, right? And that is exactly the natural cue our body needs to wind down and prepare for sleep. So what can we do about this? What is the optimal scenario? I'm not delusional and I'm pretty aware that most people will have big problem putting their phone away for 90 minutes before bedtime. What you can do is set up a red filter on your screen, and that will minimize or at least limit the damage, even if it won't remove it completely. It's better than nothing. If you don't know how to do it, I'll put links with instruction into the description of this video. Another way is to get blue light blocking glasses, but you need to be really careful with those. They need to be wine red color to actually have some impact. If you see blue light blocking glasses with clear lens. That might be blue light filtering, but there is definitely some blue light or white light spectrum going through. It needs to be very strong wine red, and a simple test you can do is when you shine a black light through the lens, none of it should come to the other side. So you can test it for yourself whether those are the optimal one. I'm not sure if this is necessary to remind, but if you have these blue light blocking glasses, they are to be worn at night. You're not supposed to wear them through the day. Through the day you want the white and blue light spectrum. It's not like the light spectrum of white and blue is bad. It's not. It's just bad when it's at the wrong time. So using the right tools in the right time, that's the way. Regarding the light at your house, ideally 2 hours or at least 90 minutes before bedtime, you should not use any neon white, blue, strong light at all, and definitely not positioned above eye level. So ideal source is just having a salt lamp in this yellowish red color spectrum that is positioned on the floor or on some low table, so it won't be disturbing. There are also some products you can find online which are designed for this light management, and they emit the right spectrum at the right time. You set it with a timer and it can help you to fall asleep when you put it on your bedside table, and you set the timer, and within whatever you set, 10, 15, 30 minutes, it slowly dims down and eventually turns off, which will make your eyes slowly, progressively adjust, and at the end you just realize that you are actually already sleepy because this natural cycle helped you to regulate the melatonin and all the processes. At the same time, you can set them in a way that it will progressively wake you up in the morning, mimicking the sunrise. It's probably unrealistic to always waking up with the natural sun in a way that you will just have your curtains opened, because you can be getting a lot of artificial light through the window to your bedroom anyway, and you want to limit that. But optimal scenario would be always waking up with the sunrise and always going to wind down with the sunset. However, if we can't do that, no problem. We can use these lamps, even though I personally consider them a little bit of overkill and not necessary, because if you just follow these simple rules and setup, it will be most likely enough to get you back on track and recover this natural hormonal and energy cycle in the body. As well, if you are using bathroom at night, you wake up to go to toilet, don't turn any light on. That can disturb your melatonin straight away, and then you have a harder time falling asleep again. Following these simple rules might be all you need to reset your melatonin, nervous system, hormones, and just get on the right track, where you will actually feel also energy levels through the day increased and more balanced. Remember what I said at the beginning, it starts with the exposure to the natural light in the morning. It's not only about this bedtime routine. Just changing how we are regulating ourselves through light should be option before we look at supplements, pills, or hormonal support. Using melatonin is very popular, but it is a hormone, and getting used to it can become a crutch for a very long time, if not forever. Because if you are taking it from outside, you replace it artificially, your body will stop producing it, and it's really hard, if even possible, to kickstart that natural rhythm and natural production for yourself again. And a tip for desperate parents whose kids seems to have the most energy right before bedtime. Kids are producing 4 times more melatonin than older people. Melatonin levels drops through as we age, which means kids are even more sensitive for this light regulation. If you have a hard time putting your kids to sleep, it might be that they were just exposed to the light just too close to their bedtime, and they are just too wired now. Apply everything I said and watch that magic. Sometimes it really is that simple. It's just overstimulation. We just started to see this overstimulation as a standard just because we got used to it. And that applies to adults as much as it applies to kids. So to get some summary, get natural light in the morning to your face, to your eyes, ideally from the sun. No screen and dim light when your bedtime is approaching. Or if you can and you want to go full natural mode, just follow the sun. Turn off the overpowering blue and white lights positioned above your head in your house. Get some mild, low positioned yellow and red ones. And use the red filter on the screen if you really have to use it. And that's it. Thank you for watching. My name is Paolo. Send this video to 2 people. First one, somebody who really need to fix their sleep, and second, somebody who will strongly appreciate the light managing of their kids. To expand on our facts from the beginning, before electricity, the average sleep was 9 to 10 hours, and since that time, by introducing newer and newer, better technologies for lighting, that time is going progressively down. Second one that is actually strongly related to this, before this introduction of electrical lights, people had 2 sleep cycles. First half of the night, then 1 to 2 hours awake, then second half of the night till the morning. And that disappeared with electrical lights. That pattern was used for hundreds, thousands, if not tens of thousands years before. And that also means that insomnia today might be looked at also as a mismatch between our biology and our social functioning more than actual dysfunction. Third one, the saving time started in Germany in 1916, and it was done and designed as an emergency saving for critical times. On average, the immediate effect for people is to drop 30 to 60 minutes of their sleep, and there is significant drop in brain fog, cognitive performance and focus for following weeks after this shift. There is also measurable increase in car accidents and workplace injuries. But luckily not all countries are applying it, and many are considering stopping that completely as well. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions, questions or comments, please reach out directly to me or comment under the video. See you next time.